Hello everybody, we are at the top of the 2024 Joyride Slopestyle course. Today is the first day of practice. All the riders are just teeing up top to bottom runs kind of for the first time right now. Today we have the privilege of doing a course walk with Justin Wyper. He's one of the main trail builders and one of the people who designed the course and kind of works on the course every year. We're going to get the inside scoop on the course, some of the features that have changed this year, why they've changed, and try and really show you guys the scale of just how massive all these features are. As you can probably tell, I'm not Henry Quinney. Henry is a lot of things, but one of the things he is not is interested in slopestyle, really. So as a recovering dirt jumper myself, I am the only one here qualified to host this video. So unfortunately, you're stuck with me today. Let's get into it. So we're here at the top of the course with Justin. Before we get into it, can you walk us through some of the maybe changes from last year?
There was a bunch of little things that had to happen. Obviously last year we didn't have the Fitz chair up and running.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a bunch of these new services that they had in the ground electrical snowmaking. They've all changed location. So that really dictated a lot of the changes that were made to the course. But we just kind of switched up the beginning a little bit, lengthened it, put a little jump into the whale tail. And then we're pretty much the same down to the flat drop. After the flat drop, we have a little spine box thing into the quarter pipe and then a big boner log at the bottom.
Yeah, cool. And so today's first day of practice, these are the first hits right now.
Yeah.
What's this like for you, watching riders tee it up for the first time? What's that like?
It's great, man. We put so much work into this starting early May. We have a big crew of 10, 12 guys that just put their heart and soul into this stuff.
Yeah.
So to see people come out and start riding it and enjoy it, and it feels great.
How many people did you have on the crew for building?
Probably 10 to 12 total with a few carpenters, Xander and Andrew.
Oh, nice.
We had our hand crew, which was Jakob, Jan, Phil, Simon, Flynn, just a whole, I'm sure I'm forgetting people, but yeah, we had a big crew. And
the hand crew, so how do you do it? Do you bring in machines, stack in most of the dirt, and then rake it and
exactly. A lot of it is we come with the machines first. We do a bunch of bulking and kind of give ourselves landmarks down the hill, and then we kind of fill in the dots essentially. Yeah. Shape everything with the machine, and then the hand guys come in and just make it look pretty.
It's crazy. I was explaining this to somebody yesterday who hadn't seen the course yet and has never been here. It's like big sandcastles. Yeah. It's amazing.
100%.
Let's walk through the actual course. Yeah. And check everything out.
Sweet.
It's hard to focus with all the riders going. Yeah. Okay, so first feature here. What's the deal with it? How tall? What's the gap out?
Yeah, so our first feature is just this little kind of setup drop. And we've kind of gone to this the last few years. It's not huge, it's about 7 down, 8 out, but it just kind of lets the athletes get into a rhythm early. Sure. You have all these nerves. Yeah. The first thing, you don't want it to be something huge where you're juicing. You can get into this.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense.
Small, easy, and then you're just into the run. The other thing too is this start really dictates the speed that you have through the whole course, sets you up. So starting with something that's like this just helps manage the speed for everything else down the hill.
Totally. We're at the second feature here. What is it? What are we looking at?
So the second feature is kind of 2 features in one. Yeah. It's essentially just a whale tail, but it's built out of dirt. It's a little bit tech to jump in. Yeah. Kind of forces the athletes, they're gonna have to be on it to, hit the landing. It is essentially just like a jump at the river jumps. Sure. But a little bit bigger.
So it's just, it's a nice.
But then it gives you, if you get in there, it gives you perfect speed for that step down.
Okay. And it does kind of add that level of tech to the course where everything else starts to open up a little bit for the most part.
Yeah, and it's a smaller jump. It's not like any of the big booters that we have down mid-course. It's the athletes all are gonna have to trick this, but what do they do on a
Yeah.
smaller jump
Yeah.
that's, you know, is a little bit technical. So it kind of like forces them to think about the run a little bit.
Okay, and then we move along here and we go into a step down.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Do you know what the gap down is or how?
Yeah, it's about 22, 23 feet,
Wow.
like knuckle to knuckle. And then the lip is about 5 feet tall. I don't know what the angle is,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good size step down.
It's crazy how like relatively small it looks.
Yeah.
But it's 22 feet.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it looks so much smaller than that.
right.
The hip there, but
Right, but then you stand
it's
up on the
still
knuckle
sizable.
there and you're
Yeah.
like, ooh, yeah, no, that's big.
It goes. And then
It
we go
goes.
and then we
Yeah,
go into
so-
this like huge landing into like almost a roller
Yeah,
and potentially the biggest corner I've ever seen.
yeah. There's a few big corners on this course. It's like, you know, we have to get these switchbacks in here to kind of manage speed and stuff. And why not make your corners rad? You know, it makes it funner for the riders. They're more sustainable to manage from
Yeah.
a maintenance perspective because you're not sliding on them. You're like,
Right.
you're in the corner.
And how like again, is this hand packed? It's gotta be.
Yeah, it's all shaped by the machine, and then like Phil McLean, one of our
Yeah.
longtime guys, pretty much everybody knows Phil, but he does all the berms, and
Okay.
it's like his pride and joy.
Nice.
So yeah, they all come out immaculate.
And how like roughly how long would one of these berms take to?
I mean, you get through this stuff in a day in a machine,
wow.
and then it's probably 2 or 3 days of handwork just to, you know,
Yeah,
get through that.
for sure.
It's definitely a lot of hand slapping and, you know, sifting and this and that and
Yeah.
raking, but yeah, the boys make
Damn.
quick work of it. They're pretty efficient.
It's amazing. Cool. For this we go into 2 hips. So we start with a right hip and then we go into a left.
Yeah, hip one way, hip the other,
yeah.
make it even.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're both considerably sizable jumps.
That's where we start with wood lips.
Yeah.
Are all the wood lips on the course the same
Yeah, so
like build or?
our 3 main jumps are all the same radius.
Yeah.
They're all the same height and they're all set to the same angle. So
Okay.
it just allows for the riders just that
consistent,
consistency,
yeah.
you know, like with the speed that we have, it's pretty much the same speed for all the jumps and it's just consistent. Every lip feels the same. So
Yeah.
you're not ever, you know, the whole goal of this whole build is essentially to make it so that the riders only have to think about what they need to do in the run. They're
Yeah.
not thinking about, oh, did I grab enough brake there? Or did I get enough pedals?
Yeah.
Or, you know, we want to make it as autopilot in a sense as possible.
Awesome. So we're here at the straight jump. Is it a step up or?
Yeah, step up, straight jump, trick jump,
Yeah,
whatever
nice.
you want to call it.
So this has the same size lip as the 2 hips that are above us. And just so you guys can have a little bit of scale, they're pretty big. Do you know how tall they are?
They stand about 12 and a half.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, pretty sizable. And then right behind us here, or in front of us, is another like gargantuan corner. It looks like it just about goes vert.
Yeah, it's not quite vert, but it's a lot steeper than our lips. I think it's 75 degrees
Great.
at its
Wow.
steepest point there.
And the idea there is you can just like commit to the corner, same as above. You
Yeah,
don't have to worry
exactly.
about washing out.
Don't have to worry about washing out. It kind of sucks you in and puts you in the ride line, and it takes the riders, you know, a second or two just to,
Yeah.
you know,
Like-
realize that the corners are real corners,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then once you kind of figure out,
And how
Just to let the
how hard
corner-
are they? Like, how much time do you spend just making sure they're not going to kind of blow out?
I mean, it's all
Is it
in.
just a lot of water? Or?
It's just all in the build too, you
Yeah.
know, like the more you take the time when you're
Yeah.
hand finishing it to get all the little rocks and
Yeah.
stuff out, you don't have those weak points where it breaks apart. And then, yeah, just keeping everything.
And so you
moist
guys
and
like are paying
water on
attention
top.
to getting all the rocks out. Is that all done by rake? Or is
Yeah,
that
it's pretty much all by rake and
Yeah,
that.
okay.
We have a little sifter that
Oh, you
the
do?
boys use too. We can make stockpiles with the machine, but
Yeah.
like in the berms they use them, but there you go.
Yeah.
In the berms, they use the SIF stuff, but all the landings everywhere else is just raked.
Okay, cool. And then after this, we have the big landing into a corner, and then another.
Yeah, a little operating table or step up, drop, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Is this the same size that it's been in years past?
Yeah, it's a touch bigger than last year, but only by like 8-9 inches, kind of like very minor.
Yeah, yeah.
But the same essential build as the straight drop that we had last year.
And then this is a similar feature to what Lemoyne would have gapped a couple years ago.
Well, the one Lemoyne gapped was considerably smaller. It didn't have this up box or the flat landing. It was just that flat little deck.
I gotcha.
So, but still ridiculous.
Yeah, totally. Let's go check out, I'm actually really excited about this next feature. I think it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty awesome too.
Okay, so we're here after the drop on the on-off. How big is this drop? I don't know if I asked you that. Do you know?
It's about 16 down and I think like 17 or 18 out.
And then after the drop then we have this Spox.
Yeah.
Spine box.
The spine box.
I think this is probably what I'm most excited to see people ride.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty unique to years past, yeah?
Yeah, we had the spine last year and this is just kind of a bigger version of that.
Yeah.
Just with this chair going into, obviously it kind of comes right over the track here. So it's trying to figure out, instead of running off the drop straight into the quarter pipe, obviously there's some elevation change. Just how do you get up there and still get a feature that's not going to conflict with the chairlift and everything else in. So this is kind of what we came up with.
It's a bit of logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
And then after this, we go into the cannon log, is that it?
Yeah, so then you ride the Spox, you hit this quarter pipe, the wall rides there.
And
like another...
you can obviously go either way.
Yeah, you can go either way.
And
there's exits to both.
Okay.
And then it kind of sets you up for this boner log at the bottom.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like people are just trying to figure it out right now. It's definitely a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
But once you ride it once or twice and you kind of figure your speed out, it's not bad.
There's a crew of people, riders just up above us that are looking at it, doing some run-ins, trying to tee it up for the first time. How important is it? A lot of the riders are coming to you asking for your input on how it's all running and what to do going into something that's unique like this. How important is it for like the builder to be able to ride the course?
I think it's crucial, you know, because it just validates everything that you've done out here. So we build stuff and then we test it, we make little adjustments. So basically when the riders get here,
it's ready.
They don't have to do that stuff, you know, like
you're the guinea pigs.
Yeah, exactly, you know, and then when they come, they can ask for input on speed and stuff like that, how we've ridden stuff. And it just gives them a little more information just to make it, you know, safer for the first hits for them.
And it's something I don't think most people see as a part of the process and for the riders and learning the course is they actually lean on you guys quite a bit for just information on speed checks or how to hit certain features.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's like all these other tracks that stay up all year. These riders ride them year after year after year, and so they have the intel. Whereas this course changes every year.
Yeah.
So it's I think pretty crucial to have people on the crew that are capable to ride this and be able to test it and give that intel back to the riders.
For sure.
And it just makes their lives easier and safer.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so, and that's what we're all here for.
And so as you guys are building out the course, you're kind of like testing it, every feature kind of as you go?
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of working through it as the build progresses. We make our way down with the riding as well. And then we're able to kind of tweak and manage things as we go, just so, you know, the build comes together how it should.
Awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much the course.
Yeah.
What's the rest of your week look like?
It's busy, but it's not just the slope style, because we also have the speed and style, the dual slalom, the whip off jump, the pump track. So all those things have events running on them. So it's keeping up with maintenance, managing the water on all that stuff. And then, you know, there's a whole bunch of other Crankworx logistical stuff that's in there as well. So it's busy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but the crew does a good job at, you know, staying on top of everything. So
last question, when do you start planning out next year's course?
Honestly,
how early does that take?
It kind of like, it starts right around now. It's like once you see people ride, you're always kind of brainstorming on what you can do next, where you can improve. And then we take a bunch of time off. We get a bunch of intel back from the riders on, you know, what they enjoyed, what could change, what could, you know, stuff like that. And then we kind of, you know, start coming up with a design midwinter, and May we're back on the hill.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice. It's amazing.
Thanks for coming out.
I can't speak highly enough about all this. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for Slopestyle on Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be hopefully a really good show.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Justin.
Awesome, man.